Welcome back. This is a World Cup Daily on Citi TV. My name is here with Susu Graham and Daniel Cranton. Guys, so two things. We've talked about the politics, really. Gianni Infantino, everybody and all of that. But there's the football, and the football actually started. And it's the first of 64 games, so 1 down, 63 more to go. We'll talk about today, and today has a lot. There's a lot to discuss. But let's focus on the game. And I've read all kinds of very funny things about the Qataris and how poor they... Let's talk about your general impressions of the game, and then we start to deconstruct what exactly we all watched. Susu?
Well, I was quite surprised by how open Qatar were, because they had been in training camp for about a few months. This is 6-9 months. They've kind of taken these players out of the league system. They've gone on a training camp. They were even in the UEFA qualifying Group A. So if you pay attention, they are considered part of the Group A UEFA qualifying. Okay. And so if you notice, Portugal played 2 friendlies against Qatar. That's part of it because they were in the same qualifying group. So what it is when it's your day to play Qatar, you just play a friendly home and away. So they are treated as part of the thing. And you could see there were some problems there because if the only team they finished above in that group was Azerbaijan, who clearly didn't qualify. There was also Ireland in that group. So they didn't perform that well in the qualifying group that they were meant to kind of supplement. And they were losing some friendlies you'd expect them to win because they lost to Linfield. I'm sure you've heard of Linfield, very small team. So it wasn't really going well, but I thought that at least because of the cohesion and stuff, they'd make it difficult. And when you read the Ecuadorian team, you do your research. This is not a very expansive team. They are very set-piece heavy. They would be considered a one-goal project team in any other, consideration because they are very low scoring. They keep it tight at the back. And Qatar just made it so easy for them that they scored 2 first-half goals. So I was very surprised by how poorly Qatar played. And it doesn't bode well for them because this was probably the most winnable game of the group. And they are also Asian champions from 2019. So everything about this Qatar team it doesn't make sense because on paper, they should be much better than they are. But they basically just came to participate because this is not, and they are the first host nation to lose their opening game at a World Cup. So it's been a really bad start for them, and I don't know how it will get better because, like I said, on paper, Ecuador are the worst team in the group. Maybe Senegal without Sadio Mane will be an easier proposition for them, but there's no way they are beating the Netherlands if this is the form they are bringing to the tournament. So I was sad for the Qataris because you could see they were very excited to have the World Cup here. Like quite a few people know, they built the Aspire Academy years ago to kind of supplement their talent pool, build the Qatari football nation, but it doesn't seem to have, it's not bearing the fruits they expect. They won the Asian Cup, so fair enough, but this is the biggest stage of war, and this is really where they want to make their name, and it just didn't work out.
Daniel, your general thoughts, and then after that, maybe we can talk a bit more about the politics of it, but let's just talk about what you just witnessed yesterday. We'll get into the breakdowns.
Honestly, I was very sad. I was sad because I expected much more of a fight from Qatar. It was too easy for Ecuador, and you could tell. As Susu has said, the Ecuadorians are not the most expansive team. Okay. They are usually very compact, very difficult to break down. They don't like to push forward a lot. But yesterday, it looked like after 5-10 minutes, they realized, okay, this is going to be quite easy. And it was just attack after attack after attack in the first half. And it was, you could tell, even the noise levels in the stadium at the tail end of the first half was very subdued. The home fans weren't happy. In the second half, they tried a bit, but it was just route one. They were just hitting long balls into the box, hoping for it to land on the foot of someone. It wasn't the best, honestly. When you've prepared for such a long time, we at least need to see something much better than this. There should have been some spirit in their performance. It looked like after the first 10 minutes, when they looked at the pressure they were under, they just crumbled. And I can guarantee you are going to see a woto in this group. And I think it will come when they take on the Netherlands. It's good. No, because when you look at the spaces that they had left in their defense, the way they were defending, you can tell that no, they are really going to get battered. That at least they'll concede 4 goals in 1 match. This tournament is over. I think they are guaranteed, after they are guaranteed 3 games, I think they are staying home.
They are staying home.
There's no way they can qualify.
And to add to that, because they have a kind of La Masia coach, They've been trying to play. They want to play a kind of tiki-taka. They are not there to come and sit back and defend and play on the counter. They don't want to be pragmatic. They want to play attractive football. But you can, with all due respect, you could see the player quality just wasn't there. Because there were some moments, it's like the guy gets the ball. It's like he wants to try and drop a shoulder and drop, and it's so clumsy, so predictable. I mean, but the Brighton left back, he's not some Maldini or anything, but it's like every time the wing back came up against him, it was so easy for him. Like he barely had to me. It's like he was just standing there waiting for the guy. Okay, do what you want, do what you want. Then he takes them. But like it was very difficult to watch in that sense. But I admire their bravery in trying to play. But like Daniel said, if you are going to try and play against everybody, and the funny thing is, every other team in the group is, even the Netherlands, are coming with a pragmatic style. They've come to play 5-3-2 or 3-5-2, depending on how you see it. They want to kind of soak up pressure and hit teams on their counter. But Van Gaal understands that the Dutch players may not all be of the... No, they have some deficiencies in their team. So they are playing a more pragmatic game. And you, Qatar, you are trying to open up. They'll eat you up.
But don't you think that the first... And you mentioned the first 10 minutes. Don't you think that it was probably down to the nerves? Look, no matter how you prepare for a World Cup, if you are playing at home in front of your fans, opening day, the only game of the day, everybody's watching, don't you think that it will have a bearing on how you fare?
No. I understand that. But I think there are two ways to look at it. After that first goal went in, and it was ruled out for offside, it's like you've been given a second opportunity, a second chance. And I'm not saying I wanted to see some wild football from Qatar. It just lacked spirit. Their body language was off when the Ecuadorians were attacking them. Nobody seemed to take responsibility on the pitch, and that's where my problem was. The keeper was
going into that later.
Every single player in that team is not. Okay. They are not up to the standard.
Speaking on the offside,
it's the spirit that was lacking.
I feel like a lot of people got confused as to what happened with the offside because it's when he punched the ball and it hit the Ecuadorian player's head, and you see he went up and bounced before he played. That's where the pass is given. So the player was offside, but his foot was a bit out. It was offside at that point when the ball was punched. Okay. So it's like it took a long time for him to play the ball and stuff before everything settled. But that moment when the ball was punched, it's like he was offside then. So that's kind of what was retroactively go back to disallow the goal. But it didn't even help them in the end. Like Daniel said, you've gotten a lucky break. Because something like that, it rarely happens that the keeper comes forward to the point where you can get an offside off him. They got it away, and then that. Just even talking about the penalty, the ball came in. Why was the keeper all the way there? Like, I don't know how to say. He was basically out of the box.
The keeper is a problem.
The keeper is the problem.
He's a problem.
They have a problem. They have many problems. He's one of them.
Yeah, he's a major problem.
He's a major problem. All right.
As someone said, if he's number one, imagine number 2 and 3.
For those who missed out on how that game played out between Qatar and Ecuador, here are some pictures from that encounter between Qatar and Ecuador, the opening game of the FIFA 2022 World Cup. All right, so that's how it played out between Qatar and Ecuador in the opening game of the FIFA 2022 World Cup. It really wasn't an opening game that a lot of the homesteads enjoyed. My favorite bit of it was a video I saw that was trending. Was it during the game or after the game? Of this Ecuadorian fan who was doing the money sign and he was being warned.
Oh, you didn't see him and the guy took a video together after where they kind of made up. They made up. They took a video and said, it's just football. We all get stressed. Things happen,
I wonder how the guy, I'm sure he must have been scared.
Like it's not.
Sorry?
I don't think you should provoke them like that. It's a running joke. Then you do. They take offense to it. So if you're honest, I don't think it's not the smartest.
Anyone will take offense to being told that they paid for a match. I don't think it's...
For Ecuador, if they go out in the competition, the Qataris will come back.
That's as if Qatar are still in it.
No, it doesn't matter. They didn't say they will qualify. You were the one laughing at me. So now, if we are all going home, I'll also laugh at you.
Okay, I mean...